Learning to cut, copy, paste, and move items is very important when you work with really any Microsoft product, but also when you're out on the web or you're in different programs. A lot of the ways that you cut, copy, and paste things is the same way that you do it here. So you want to know the keyboard commands that run these, because sometimes you'll be in programs and you want to cut or copy or paste something, but there's no right clicking, there's no option to drop something down and choose that. So you want to pay attention to the keyboard commands as we go through this as well. So cut, copy, and paste. We're also going to cover moving and using what's called the clipboard. So when you cut or copy something, there's two differences. If you cut, for example, if I clicked on this picture and I right-clicked and I chose cut, it would take away that image. Now this image has two pieces. It has a background to it and then the image on top of it. So it's literally cutting it out. So just think of cutting to cut out of something. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm actually going to try and capture the whole thing here. So let's do this. Select objects, there we go, and I'm going to drag over this image to make sure I get all of it. There we go. And now I'm going to cut, and notice the keyboard command there, it's Control X. So that is one to remember, so that's to cut it. So now I get all of that, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click at the end of the last paragraph, hit there. And now I can do paste. Now, paste, right now I get two options. Keep the source formatting. It did move one of the pictures down. Or I can move it as a picture so that it's one item. It is basically tied together now. So if you're wanting to edit it, you'll probably want to keep the source formatting. If you really want it to be a solid picture, one item, then you would choose picture here. So I'm going to click picture, and now, whenever I move it, it's all one item here. Okay, so I might want to drag it down a little bit, make it a little smaller. Okay, so that's cut. I cut it out of the document and I paste it as well. And I'm going to go ahead and fix this. There we go. So it looks nicer and cleaner here. All right, so that's cut. Pull it out and then paste it. Now, when you cut something or copy something, it actually goes to the clipboard. And you'll see that image up here for paste, which is Control V. But if you drop it down, you have some clipboard options. And what you're wanting to do is when you cut or copy, it puts that image, whatever it is, whether it's text or pictures or whatever you've grabbed, it puts it on the clipboard, which is sitting behind the scenes. It holds it there, and then based on what you did, if you cut and then paste, it's taking it out and then putting it where it needs to go. If you copy it, it keeps it on that clipboard until you're done pasting it. So we'll show you some options on how to work with that as well. Okay, so I took the image out for ease into it, and I'm going to break some of these spaces down so it doesn't stay too far from a nice visual here. There we go. So I've done that. Now what if I want to change the order of 3 and 4? Well, that's called moving. So I can grab this. So notice I've selected everything that relates to that. Notice the bullet doesn't select, but it's a part of that paragraph, so it keeps it there. So now I'm going to choose it. And you see that big black line there? That's where it would insert. So I'm going to put it there. There we go. So we switch protect your feet and get the right gear. So we just switch those around. Maybe that's better for sizing on the page, and we still have too big of an image. So I'm going to resize that down, move it up a little, and get a little bit more room. There we go. So moving is just selecting everything that you want to move, left click and hold in it, and then you drag it where you want it to go. So I'm going to release it right there, and that's moved that around. Okay. Now, as you're working with this, you may come across pieces that you want to copy. Okay. So, for example, let's say that I would like to copy this paragraph. There we go. So I right-click and I hit copy, or I can go to copy here. So let me do that. And it's Control C. So C for copy, X for Control X for cut, and Control V for paste. So if you'll keep those in mind, that will help you a lot when you're wanting to work from keyboards, especially in programs that don't offer these buttons or choices. So I'm going to click copy. So it's selected it. Now it's not doing anything to it like it does in Excel where it puts you know, a marquee around it. It's just copied and it's sitting out on the clipboard. So as I come down here, I'm going to click after the image and I'm going to do paste. But now I've got keep the source formatting, merge the formatting, and then keep the text only. Now, since this came from our document, keeping the text only and merge formatting is not really going to make much of a difference because it was created from there. So I'm just going to click on keep source formatting so it stays with that. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to make it italicized and drop it down and just leave that there. So as I work with this, I can change that. I may just referring back to the pieces that they saw at the very front, just as a restate to them. And as you go through this, you can edit these different pieces. You know, maybe I can just remind them that that's where this information came from. And now I've got extra space down here, and that looks better. Okay. So when you cut, it takes it out, and then you can paste it wherever you want. Copy, it keeps it where it is originally and allows you to paste it anywhere else you want. And we've done all this within one document. You can certainly do this in multiple documents. So I could copy here, open up a new one, and paste. Now remember, I pasted that paragraph. So if I open up a new document, there we go, and I right click and I paste, I still have it. Now why is that? Well, because it's sitting on the clipboard and you copied it. So it remembers the last thing that you copied, and now you can paste it as many times as you want. Now the moment that you copy something else, that's what it will remember, keep on the clipboard, and it will paste that as your last option. So let's try another thing here. Let's go back to the other document, and let's take this part. I'm going to copy it, and now I'm going to go to the other document that I created, and when I go to paste, it's that new item. Okay, so even if I drop it down here, you may have some options here with paste special, where you're linking, will do all that type of different thing. But just so you know, once you copy something else, it'll pick that up and bring that in and put it wherever you want. So cut, copy, paste. And working with the clipboard, it keeps all those things. And moving is pretty much only move it. Here's a good idea, is that when you grab something to move it, it's best if you can see where you're trying to move it. Because if you grab something like this and you're coming down a page, you know, you've got to work with it. And this one's not moving too bad. I'm being really good with it. And then move it. But if you're going to do something like that, probably the best thing to do is cut it or copy it. So that way you make sure that you get what you want and put it exactly where you want. And if you had like a 200-page document, you would probably be much smarter to cut it out and then paste it somewhere, or copy and paste to put it where you think it should go, and then if that's where it is, then you can come back and delete the rest of it. So cut, copy, paste, move, and working with the clipboard.